Oh, I never thought I'd get this far.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Splash Talk episode 23. Well, we've done it, ladies and gentlemen. We're over the 20 mark. I guess we're 3 episodes
We've been
forward.
Over the 20 mark we've been over the 20
But,
mark.
hey.
We've been over the 20 mark for like full episode.
Well, you know what, Sour? Let's just still talk about it, all right? I mean, we're gonna just drag this out. We're gonna drag this out until we can ever do it, because that's what we should be doing, and that's what we will always do.
English is yes.
Yes, definitely.
As we are reading more fan fiction today, because I just have nothing else to better. Well, I can't speak today.
Because we hate ourselves.
Exactly. First, I'm going to acknowledge chat. We got Koom in the house. What's up, Koom? And we got Kavari in the house. What's up, Kavari?
Yo, Kavari. Kavari
today,
and Koom, my two favorite duos ever.
We're actually going to be reading something that might potentially ruin my love for this certain thing.
Oh, no.
And that is Power Ranger fan fiction. Now, but before we even talk about that, Ninjoid, where can they find you at?
Alrighty, you guys can personally find me on my own YouTube channel, Ninjoid243, where I am currently working on fan cuts of my sequel trilogy, which are actually going very faster than I actually expected. So far, I'm almost done editing The Last Jedi, so that's interesting, you know. Thought that would take a while, but anyway, and also we are currently making posters for each one of the cuts. But yeah, they will be coming out December, so stay tuned to watch them, as well as Galactic Chat every single Friday. Last night you didn't do it. Well, we didn't do it because a lot of people went to see Mortal Kombat, along with Ryan and Austin were busy. I went to a bookstore, for crying out loud. So yeah, everyone was busy. So we'll do Galactic Chat this next Friday, and also on May 4th we'll be doing a special Galactic Chat while also releasing me and Sour and I's own short film. It's going to be my best friend preparing for May 4th. That's the title of the short film. And basically it's going to be me taking my best friend Ryan out to different stores, just showing him what he needs to get for his first May 4th.
Oh God, that's going to be interesting.
Yes.
I'm scared for you, Sour. I really am. Very, very scared for you. But Sour, where can they find you at?
You guys can find me on my own channel, Sourcast question mark, where I obviously do live streams like these lovely folks. And I'm trying to reach 70 subscribers. That's my next goal. I'm still at 64, but you know, someone steady wins the race, so that's fine. I'm also on Discord at Sourcast question mark number 4433, and also on Instagram at Sourcast06. I am also featured on the Austin Airs and Ninja243's channels as well. Thank you, Austin, for having me on.
No problem. I'll do my stuff at the end because it takes way too goddamn long. But let's acknowledge the chat first before I talk about my love for Power Rangers. Koom's like, Koom x Kavari? I won't complain. It's very interesting, sir. Very interesting.
Me neither.
Dylan's got, what's up, Dylan? Great to see you. Koom's like, by the way, Sour, I've reread Attack on Titan and I've actually become a bigger fan of it. Yeah, there we go.
That's what I like to read. That's what I like to see.
Some good stuff.
No.
Sean's like, I'm making fucking mac and cheese and nobody can stop me.
Nice, Sean. Nice.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Mac and cheese is really good.
I feel
As long as it's done right. Not as much as you, though, obviously. What's up, Dylan? Sean is a savage. That he is. Sean is indeed a savage. Seems like Mortal Kombat sucked.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about that.
I haven't seen it yet. No spoilers. I'm seeing it on Friday, or this coming Friday.
I have, though. Woohoo!
My favorite arc is the return to here. You can do this.
Shiganshina.
Sour. Yeah, there it is.
Shiganshina. That was peak AOT in my opinion.
Shiganshina.
That's my second
That was peak
favorite.
Attack on Titan. What's up, Deshaun? Great to see you. And the Marley arc was great, and War for. This is also you, Sour. Parati arc was good up until chapter 123.
Honestly,
Intriguing.
yeah, that's where a lot of people kind of just like went downhill. Like after those big twists from chapter 121 and 122, and when the thing starts, I'm not going to say what it is, but yeah, that's when a lot of people actually started to like say that the writing went downhill. I can see why, but I sort of enjoyed it.
And Dylan says, I finally think I got a breakthrough on the episode 8 poster.
Fantastic.
Great stuff. Now, let's talk about my love for Power Rangers and why this actually pisses me, why I'm very scared about what Sienna sent me.
Oh.
Back when I was growing up, okay, this was when I was a teeny tiny osnator, okay? There were some things I grew up on. Okay, I grew up on Ben 10, you know, because Ben 10 was fucking cool. I mean, come on, it's a watch that can make you transform into an alien. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, Ben 10 was just awesome. You know, and of course, you know, Spider-Man
is and always
superheroes. I even had I think it was like the Batgirl arc from Batman the Animated Series on VHS as well. Like I grew up on superheroes. I had like Batman Beyond, Return of the like all of the superheroes I grew up with. But there was one other thing that, you know, made me just go, holy crap, like this is awesome. And that was, you guessed it, Power Rangers. Now, to really tell you like what kind of Power Rangers I grew up with, well, what kind of Power Rangers I didn't grow up with. I grew up with Mighty Morphin. I grew up with Time Force. I grew up with Dino Thunder. And I actually watched a couple episodes while it was live. Was Power Rangers Samurai, which Samurai was okay. It was pretty average at best. You know, I didn't watch the other seasons until later on, but my God, they were awesome. I mean, Time Force. I think I had Power Rangers Time Force: The End of Time on VHS. Like that was like probably one of the best finales in a Power Rangers show. But it was mainly the look of the characters that I really liked. I mean, I really can't do it justice. I mean, just the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like the looks of them are just so classic and iconic, and the music too. Oh my God, the music was great. I love just the opening themes. Just made me go, whew. It gives me chills. But what really like reignited my love for the Power Rangers was the Boom Studios comic book run. Holy shit! It made the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers even
I saw that movie back
better.
in 2017 was pretty good.
The 2017 movie was good. I would say it's good for its own thing. I would say, but nothing tops like just OG Mighty Morphin. I mean, OG Mighty Morphin had Green Ranger Tommy. Okay, like you can't get much cooler than that. I mean, he was, but you can't top Tommy as a Ranger either. I mean, Tommy's the best Ranger, regardless. The only person that I will even accept otherwise is Jason, because Jason was also a fucking perfect Ranger. I mean, he was the leader. I mean, the Red Ranger is always cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Me, who hasn't
Uh.
watched Power Rangers in so damn long, so I have no idea who these people are. I forget their names, man. I haven't watched
I
them like
don't even
forever.
know. Hey, look, I used to watch Power Rangers, and I
I'm just
don't even know the character's name. But this, guys, is Tiny Austinator.
yes, that's me eating a ham sandwich.
Honestly, it kind of looks like him.
It's a poisonous.
Oh, you're the kid. Oh, I thought you were the ham sandwich. Oh, that's nice.
Yes, Sour. I was the ham sandwich all along.
You just turn on your camera and there's just a plate of ham sandwich.
You know what? We gotta do that just for one stream.
Just like talking, yo, what up?
Oh my god, Austin, we gotta do that for one stream.
That'd be great.
You just cook a ham sandwich.
Yes.
Yo, like during a celebration stream, and you just put, okay, I'll finally do my face reveal on my channel. Because I think you've never shown your face on your channel before.
I don't remember if I did or not.
I think it was only on my channel, but anyway. So you're like, okay, I'll finally show my face. Ham sandwich.
But that is why we're reading Power Ranger fanfiction today, because I'm going to see if my love for Power Rangers will basically be able to withstand what fanfiction I was sent. Because let me tell you, I'm just that kind of guy. You know, we of course have to read fanfiction to ruin stuff from our childhoods. So, you know what? Let's see if Power Rangers will be ruined for me. God, I hope not, because I love Power Rangers. Funny enough, well, first I'm going to get to the chat. I know I'm just wasting time, but God, I didn't acknowledge the chat in my last stream, and I want to make up for that. Don't like. Funny enough, I'll show Ninjoid, and he will hate it. I have no idea what I'm doing. Damn.
No.
Coom's like, wait, Dylan is making his own poster for episode 8. It's Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Dylan's like, Dino Thunder was my favorite. Dude, Dino Thunder was fucking awesome. I mean,
when did Dino Thunder come out?
It was after Power Rangers Ninja Storm.
No, like what time? Like what year?
When did Ninja Storm come out?
Hang on, wait a minute. Hold on, everybody. Hold on.
Everyone, something Dino in 2016.
2004. I think you're talking about Dino Charge.
Dino Dan.
Dino Charge. Everything's Dino now. Dino.
Coom's like, I've never watched Power Rangers.
Dino
sorry.
Dan.
That's all right.
Let's eat some Dino Nuggies.
Sean's like, I saw the one with the Gold Ranger. Now, you might be talking about Power Rangers Samurai, but you could also be talking about Power Rangers Zeo, because there was also a Gold Ranger who was actually played by Jason himself, and he was fucking badass. He's awesome. I know that the Green Ranger used to be the main villain. Yes, at first, but then he became, the Power Rangers 6th Ranger, and he had the Dino Zord, but then he lost his powers. Then he became the White Ranger, and then
he became the best Ranger.
Oh my god, this sounds as complicated as Ninjago, for crying out loud.
Nah, it's pretty straightforward if you watched it.
Okay.
Dylan's like, I love Power Rangers Police Force. I think it was. You are talking about Power Rangers SPD.
Wait, there's a season called
Why are there so many Power Rangers? Like, holy shit.
Well, actually,
they're all seasons, I'm pretty sure.
Because they follow the Japan stuff. Super Sentai.
Okay.
Sentai.
Seems like awesome do be kind of tasty. I mean, what I am. I kind of am. Let's be honest with ourselves. I kind of am. And then she's in the chat laughing evilly.
No.
She's laughing evilly like Zed on a bad day. Coom's like, guys, I'm going to be honest. At first, I was just a troll, but now I actually enjoy your guys' streams. Aw, thank you.
But
I appreciate. I appreciate it, Dylan. Coom, I'm sorry. I really I'm all over the place today, guys. Bear with me, please. Don't like Power Ranger Samurai was fun. Power Rangers, it was okay. It was, I would say it's meh. It's fine, I guess. Oh man. Sienna's like, I'm an intellectual. I watch both Power Rangers and Super Sentai. Man, Sienna, thank you.
Damn,
I mean,
you would be goated though.
well, actually, some of the Super Sentai seasons were on Tubi, and now I'm debating on watching them because fucking Power Rangers got taken off Netflix.
Yeah,
that pisses.
where are they?
Yeah, fuck you, Netflix. I hate you.
How dare they?
How dare they? Seriously.
Netflix are like my enemies now. Fuck them. I hate them.
Well, they were your enemies since what's it? I even forget the movie's name.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Cutie. Yeah, Cutie. Since they
Shut up. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it, please. The fanfic is gonna start right now, Sienna. I promise. Hey, Captain, what's going on? Hey, Captain Trek. Don't like the worst Power Rangers to me was Jungle Fury. Jungle Fury was okay. I mean, it was good. I mean, it's not my favorite personally, but it's serviceable. All right. This fan fiction, as you can tell, is a Tommy and Jason fan. Oh God.
Wait, you mean Tommy and Jason from Friday the 13th?
You know what? Let's go with that. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. All right. So it's a Tommy and Jason fanfiction, and it's called "Hang Up the Spandex," but in the parentheses, but don't pack it away just yet. Okay. What? Okay, sure. One summary. Once again, Tommy Oliver faces a life without powers and without monsters. Well, that kind of sucks. Life is good and peaceful, and he can get on to being a normal high school science teacher. That sucks. His mad scientist days are behind him. That's horrible. He's got a happy and stable relationship. Ugh. Wonderful friends, and everything is great. Ugh. His team is moving on with their lives, and he couldn't be happier. Oh my God, this is just sappy. And yet there is always a but. There's always buts. We set our butts down and we read this. Butts are physical thing that we have.
I don't have a butt. It's really just
Well
a crack.
then, you I feel bad for you, Sour.
I should probably go ahead and check that. I know.
We're reading fan fiction today, Captain. It is a very interesting stuff. It's very interesting stuff like we're reading right now. There's a war raging its way towards Earth, the likes of which no Ranger has ever seen before. I'm listening. Eltar is destroyed. The Armada is fuck. Darkseid's coming, isn't he? God damn it! I tell you, we can't escape it.
Power Ranger universe.
Fuck, dude, that'd be so fucking weird. As if like Darkseid show up and then like the Power Rangers.
It's like Smash Bros.
Like Darkseid is a DLC character. It's like,
oh my God.
We got Dandelion Fluff in the house. What's up, Dandelion? Oh man, dude. It's like pay $15 for the Darkseid DLC to Power Rangers, and it's like prepare the Armada, and then all the Power Rangers have to fight Darkseid. Dude, the Power Rangers would not last.
God,
they'd be dead. Oh man, that's fucking
they'd be
awesome.
dead in like almost.
And somehow Dr. Oliver's got to find a way to get everyone a working morpher. Well, technically, all the morphers should be fucked, right? Because they were no. Stop, Austin. Don't overthink it. Power Rangers doesn't overthink it. Okay, you know, morphers that are supposed to not work end up working anyway. Like in Operation Overdrive, where Adam was using his Mighty Morphin Morpher, even though the power coins were destroyed. but I digress. I don't know why I went on that small rant. We got Aiden. What's up, Aiden?
Me neither. I have no idea.
Logic, right? Logic. All right, chapter 1. He watched from his place on the second floor with a soft, nostalgic expression. He'd clapped with everyone else when Kira finished her set. He was truly proud of her and the rest of his team. So this is taking place in the Dino Thunder portion. Makes sense. Outside of their roles as rangers, they reminded him a lot of his old friends from Angel Grove High. He had to admit they wouldn't have been his first choice for rangers. He hadn't wanted to put teenagers at risk like that. Not again. But the power wants what it wants. And by the time he'd gotten it sorted out, it was too late. The gems had already bonded to the kids. That indeed did happen.
Oh no!
It worked out all right in the end. The Trent situation could have been handled a hell of a lot better, but he was grateful things hadn't been worse, and that the corruption of the white dino gem only affected Trent while he was morphed. Unlike a certain spell and Sword of Darkness, he still had nightmares about a decade later. All right, so far this is not bad. I really like the story so far. I like the small little subtle thing. I like the small subtle references back to Mighty Morphin and just that's good. As the dance wound,
references, but so far it's pretty good.
As the dance wound down or wound, well, it's wound, I guess. As the dance wound down, he couldn't help but look back on his own senior prom. For the first time in months, he felt truly old. No, you'll never get old from me, Tommy. This time, for more mundane reasons. It wasn't having to keep up with 4 teenagers in battle. It wasn't having to train them to be better rangers, or even the old man jokes when his team was feeling particularly oppositional. No. It was standing around, chaperoning a high school prom, and telling teenagers to keep 5 to 6 inches of space between their bodies when he walked by and caught them dancing a little too close. Well, this sounds a little familiar. He shook his head and sighed, waiting for the night to end so he could go home, pick out a plate of leftovers, and decide whether to grade papers or update the grid archives before crawling into bed. By the time he pulls up in front of his house that night, he's decided to take a shower, take an aspirin, and just go to bed. The archives and the stack of essays could wait for the morning. Well, not bad start. Not a bad start. Kind of going into the continuity of the Power Rangers a little bit, which is what I like. I like that they do that. I like that they acknowledge the morphing grid. That makes sense. And also, like, so far, not a bad start. I'm liking it. It was experience, rather, that any sense of caution that had him waiting until the end of the school year to start making phone calls to his friends, to tell them officially the dinos were retired. Their gems, though they had lost their power and the morphers were destroyed, still connected them to each other and to the grid. The kids had given the bands back with the gems. Dr. Oliver couldn't bring himself to take his off, hiding it under his shirt cuffs. He knew eventually he'd have to. It was useless to him for morphing now, but he felt naked without it. See, this is why you get the Master Morpher, so that way it's no longer useless. You guys wouldn't understand the Master Morpher. The Master Morpher is basically a morpher where he can basically Tommy has, and he can transform into any of his previous Ranger forms. Even though he really doesn't use the Turbo Ranger because the Turbo Rangers suck, but hey, he still uses them a little bit. I think he should. And if you read Soul of the Dragon as well, that actually does happen. Some good stuff. He considered giving the gems back as graduation gifts. Even if they've regained a charge, no one else could use them. Not like the Ranger powers that had come before, when he and Haley had gone over the data and finally had the chance to thoroughly examine the link between the gems and the grid. The two of them had discovered the powers of the Dino Gems more closely resembled the powers of the Ninjago, a large component of them coming from the Ranger themselves. The unmorphed abilities, certainly. He was sure those abilities were based on the person rather than the power. Had Kira received any other color, she would still have possessed the ear-shattering scream. If Connor had been blue, he would still have had super speed. If Dr. Oliver himself had been red, well, he always had been good at hiding in plain sight. The special abilities, he had reason to believe, came from within, and the gems themselves only enabled them or awakened them in some way. He rubbed at his wrist, reassuring himself that the presence of the band was still there as he sat in the auditorium with everyone else and waited for the speeches to end so the poor kids could get their hard-earned pieces of paper. Beside him, Haley was quietly chattering away about how proud she was of their team, their kids. They clapped and cheered for each one as they crossed the stage in cap and gown, and Dr. Oliver couldn't help the swelling of emotion in his chest. Pride and warmth and relief. His team, well, his latest team, not only all survived their battles, but also high school. For a ranger, that was often a larger achievement than saving the world. Honestly, that's kind of true, especially since most of the Rangers are actually teenagers. I mean, that makes sense. It's pretty good, actually. Like that story. I like that. After tracking down certain challenging students, his team included, to congratulate them on surviving high school and earning their diplomas, after a lot of hard work, he and Haley parted ways in the parking lot. She back to cyberspace to kick off the post-grad party she'd been planning since, well, before the Reefside prom, and Dr. Oliver back home for a much-needed weekend of monster and job-free rest. Well, there was a kind of like a grammar issue like here, but that's the first one, so I'll give it a pass. And so far, it's good. It's really good. I mean, holy shit, guys. Like, this is really good. I love it, man. Dude, this is really good. I love just the references, the Mighty Morphin, and then like bringing up good, like it's really well done, really well executed. Sean's like, I overcooked the fucking mac and cheese. Shit, man, that sucks. I mean, when you overcook mac and cheese, that's the worst part about it. I agree. Oh man, but this is like really good. The drive back to 1992 Valencia Road was quiet and uneventful, and he looked forward to a long weekend with pizza and his TiVo. As the Jeep pulled up the dirt track of his drive and the house came into view, a flash of red caught his eye. Bright, scratched, and dented. He would know that truck anywhere. Dr. Oliver wasted no time in parking right next to it and practically leaping out of his car, bounding up the porch to the front door and finding it unlocked. Jason, he exclaimed upon going inside, finding the man himself standing next to a model of a fossil with a fond smile. You kept Bonosaurus? He was smiling from ear to ear. Of course I kept them. He closed the distance between them quickly, reaching out at the same moment, hands to wrists and pulling each other in for a bone-crushing hug. I missed you. I missed you too, Jace. When they let go, both were grinning like a pair of kids. You're done? No more rangering? Only with the Reds? Jason nodded. It was as close. Oh, I love that reference to Wild Force because, there was a Forever Red episode where the Red Rangers up to that point, teamed up to face. Oh, man. I love that. Jason nodded. It was as close to a solid answer as he knew he would ever get out of the man. So, I'm starved. Pizza and TV? Dr. Oliver, no. Tommy nodded and clasped him on the shoulder. You read my mind. Let me get out of this monkey suit and I'll be right down. Menus are on the fridge. Okay. All right. That was the end of page 1. We got Ironcaster in the house. What's up, Ironcaster? Oh, man, guys. This is really good. I'm liking this. I mean, this is really nice. I'm liking it so far.
It's interesting.
the references to past Ranger shows, I mean, this is good. Too good. I fear it's too good that it's gonna it's gonna ruin it later down the line, but it's
I feel like this is a trap in a sense.
it's gonna trap me.
Yeah, what type of okay, what chapter are you on, Austin?
I'm still on chapter 1, technically.
Okay, I feel like after chapter 2, you're gonna find out like something bad's gonna happen, and then you're gonna be like, oh yeah, fuck this fan fiction.
Maybe not, but I want to continue it though.
Alright.
All right, 2, even though it's still technically chapter 1. He talked with Dr. O on the phone off and on since graduation. Had seen him around the house when he and Anton were trying to get projects back on track in the wake of the Mesogog situation. But it wasn't the same as sitting in the lair, protected from the outside world and able to talk freely about what his life was like as a ranger. And no one could really understand what it was like for him. For those months, he wasn't himself. Not entirely. It was a rough day, harder than others. Haley had given him the rest of the day off, saying that you've got that green book to you, whatever that had meant. So he'd called Dr. O to give him a heads up that he was coming over, but it had gone straight to voicemail. He needed guidance. Living in a post-Ranger period, he needed advice to deal with the guilt that still plagued him some days. When the cab pulled up in front of 1992 Valencia Road to find his mentor's Jeep parked out front, he was relieved. He paid the driver and grabbed his bag, bounding up to the front door and about to give it a sharp knock, almost forgetting Dr. O's preference for the doorbell, since it could be heard down in the lair. He redirected his hand and pushed the little plastic button. He felt like he could climb out of his skin, the nervousness that always accompanied the guilt on a rough day. When the door opened, he'd already started to talk before realizing it wasn't his mentor at the door. Cutting himself off, he blinked, stared, then pointedly stated, "You're not Dr. O." "No, I'm not." He'll be back soon, though. Come on in." Instead, Trent took a step back, tightening his hold on the strap of his bag. "Maybe another time." The man in red looked him up and down a moment before opening the door wider. "Mostly white. You must be Trent Fernandez." He offered his hand. "My name's Jason Scott. I'm an old friend of Tommy's from his other Ranger days." That seems to get him to open up a little bit. Cautiously, he reaches out to shake the man's hand. It's his turn to look the other over. Lots of Red Ranger. One of his other teams? First team. "Come on in, kid. He should be back pretty soon." "Hungry?" "I was about to make lunch." Wait, but I thought they were eating pizza. Wait a minute. All right, that's kind of my first problem right out of the gate. I thought they were making. Okay, sure. You guys can trust me. I find that. Yeah. You do kind of. I don't even know how to answer that. Jason and Trent sat at the dining table, each with a plate of French fries and chicken sandwiches. With the sound of an engine could be heard outside. Soon after the front door opened, they had to order a new transmission, so it'll be another week, Dr. O's voice called from the front of the house. A rattling of keys as the front door was shut. "Hope you don't mind cherry tomatoes, babe." Shuffling of footsteps. What?
Anti-life is found, Assad, and we will stop at nothing to possess it. Ready the Armada.
Wait. What was that? Hold on a minute. I got a quick question. Huh?
Huh?
Yeah, I'm a little confused.
Oh yeah, I just clicked out ready the Armada or whatever.
I mean, I appreciate it, but at the same time, I feel like that was a little too late.
I know it was very, very late. And also you were very like, at that time, so I'm like, yo, why might as well just play it.
That was very confusing, but okay.
Because I had it already clipped in 1 minute. After
Hope you don't. I mean, but I hope you don't mind cherry tomatoes, babe. Okay, hang on. Pause. Highlight babe. No. Okay, that's pretty interesting. I thought they were friends and okay. I guess now he's babe.
Trash. This is trash, Austin.
No, it's not.
Yes.
I mean, just maybe it was just it, and maybe it was just maybe it was just maybe
now you're trying to defend trash.
no. This is not bad though. I'm trying to
You're trying to defend trash.
It was just, it's just one thing. It's just one thing. It's not hurting it. It's not hurting it.
Austin is trying to defend trash.
Well, you just don't know Power Rangers, sir.
Nah, he's trying to defend trash. I mean it like, but if it's on, like if it is actually trash, then why is it now on fire?
Because you lit it on fire.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, well, look.
Kylo did.
Well, guess what? Well, see, I'm going to put out the fire.
Wow.
And there we go.
Then I'll stab it.
You really don't need to do that. I mean,
continue.
All right, yes, we shall continue. All right, so after the babe thing, shuffling of footsteps, that certainly caught the young man's attention as he snapped his head up to stare at the man across the table from him. His eyes were wide as the sound of footsteps drew closer to the kitchen. They were all out. Jason looked back at him and shrugged. He picked up a napkin to wipe his hands within the few seconds it took for the owner of the voice to reach them, still talking. Dr. O stopped in the doorway as Jason had risen from the table to relieve him of the 2 large brown paper bags. Romas. You've got a visitor. I can see that. Trent, who seemed just as embarrassed as his mentor, stared at him a few moments before blinking and finding his voice again. I tried to call him. He always forgets to charge his phone before leaving the house, Jason said with a soft laugh, turning his attention back to Tommy. Did you eat? Sit down. Talk to your ranger. I'll make you a sandwich. Well, I guess Jason now makes sandwiches. Even Dylan's like, it's not that bad, but I expect it to get worse. You know what? I'm kind of thinking about that too. I think I'm thinking that's where it's gonna go. Probably. After the awkwardness of lunch, Jason made himself scarce as Trent and Dr. O retreated to the lair to talk things over, ex-Evil Ranger to ex-Evil Ranger. They don't broach the subject of Jason other than for Dr. O to say, it's a very long story, that isn't your business, and for Trent to say, I thought you and Haley were dating. Don't let her hear you say that. Trent, with his burdens, feeling a little lighter after having talked with Dr. O, emerged from the lair to find the day nearly through, and the sun low in the evening sky. I'd better get back. Ever since we got rid of Mess Dog, Dad's been a little overprotective. Stay for dinner. I'll call Anton and let him know you're here. I couldn't. Come on. Jason makes a mean lasagna, and I know your metabolism's still revved up from the power withdrawal. By the time Dr. O was done on the phone, it was agreed Trent could spend the night and he'd bring him home the next day when he came over to talk about a potential dig out in the Mojave. Dinner had started out awkwardly with the young man unsure of what he should do with the new information about his mentor's life outside of what he'd already known before today. Though he couldn't really be at fault, as Jason had pointed out when he'd refilled their glasses from the pitcher of lemonade on the table. If Tommy wasn't so forgetful, he'd have got your call. I've gotten better, Dr. O protested, causing Jason to point at him with his fork, a bit of cheese and pasta sticking off the end. This man's legendary ranger status is nothing compared to his legendary forgetfulness. After I came home from Switzerland, he was supposed to meet me and the gang at the youth center after school to work on a project. That wasn't my fault. First, Uncle John called wanting me to check on something at the cabin. Then Mondo sent down some cogs, which we would have helped you with if you'd remembered to use your communicator. Jason shook his head with a small, fond laugh. By the time he remembered, he was supposed to meet up with us. We'd been waiting 3 hours and nearly finished our group project for the science fair. When he eventually showed up, he'd forgotten the fossil model we were going to use for an interactive part for bonus points with the judges. Hey, I remember to bring it with me to the science fair, and we still got third place, Dr. O mumbled from his end of the table. After this, dinner went by a lot smoother at the science teacher's expense. Trent and Jason bonded over a combination of Dr. O's most hilarious rangering mishaps that never made it outside of the original core Rangers. While not entirely trusting of the older man, he did warm up to him a bit and offered to help with the cleanup after dessert. Well, what a kind guy.
Mm-hmm.
What a very nice, kind man. I love him. Matthew sings, yo! What's up, Matthew sings? Great to see you. Sean's like, can I get the link? Sure, you can get a link. Give me a second.
All the links to Sean. We love you like that.
We're gonna give you a link. What? Here, give me a minute. I have to actually. Hang on. I gotta actually get into Facebook here. Let's see here. Link. There's the link. Man, but yeah, so far not too bad. Not too bad. Love him. You know, Trent's a cool guy. Love him. Trent woke in a cold sweat, chest heaving as he tried to catch his breath. The panic took a few moments to subside as he took in the familiar surroundings. The guest room at Dr. O's, he reached for the lamp, turning it on and staring at the wall as he tried to put his thoughts in order and recall the events of the previous day. He'd had a nightmare the night before, too. It troubled him all day. He'd been sent home from work and went straight to Dr. O's. He met... Oh, right. Finding himself unable to get back to sleep, he dressed and decided to go downstairs for a glass of water. As he came down, he could hear a movement in the house. The closer he got to the kitchen, the more he started to smell cooking food. His stomach grumbled, despite having eaten quite a lot at dinner. What was that?
Nothing.
Okay, well...
Just something, I was looking on my phone.
Oh, alright.
Alright.
Alright, let's see here. Finding himself unable to get back to sleep, he dressed and decided to go downstairs for a glass of water. As he came down, he could hear movement in the house. The closer he got to the kitchen, the more he started to smell cooking food. His stomach grumbled, despite having eaten quite a lot at dinner. Hey, Trent, Jason had greeted once the young man padded into the... What's up, Sean?
So
Nothing much. We're actually reading a pretty decent fan fiction today. I'm very happy about this.
so upset about the mac and cheese.
I feel hey, can we get an F in the chat for the mac and cheese? I mean, the mac and cheese. I mean, hey, if you fuck up the mac and cheese, it's like, man, that it sucks.
And
All
also
right.
pray for my toilet because I'm 90% sure I'm lactose intolerant.
And why would you make mac and cheese?
Because I've lost control of my life.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's see here. As he came down, he could hear movement in the house. The closer he got to the kitchen, the more he started to smell cooking food. His stomach grumbled, despite having eaten quite a lot at dinner. Hey, Trent, Jason had greeted once the young man padded into the kitchen. You hungry? It's 5 a.m, the young man protested, noting the sun wasn't even up yet. Couldn't sleep.
That doesn't mean shit. I can't. You have any idea how many times I get up in the middle of midnight to have an exquisite bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Like, time does not mean shit.
Same. Like, nothing can beat a late night bowl of cereal. It's always the best part.
And water at 3 a.m.
Have you ever eaten a Krabby Patty at 3 a.m.?
Have you even had a Krabby Patty in the first place?
Fair enough. Let's see here. You too, Trent mumbled as he maneuvered around the man at the stove, intending to just get a glass of water and head back upstairs, but the smell of sausage was very tempting. I could toss a few more links on. Sure, might as well, Trent said as he opted instead for a glass of juice and moved to the table to wait. He wasn't left alone long. A plate of scrambled eggs, sausage links, and toast was set in front of him before Jason joined him at the table with a cup of coffee in his own. They sat quietly in one another's awkward company before finally Jason broke the silence. You know, it's been 7 years since I was kidnapped by Divatox and put under Malagor's spell, and I still have nightmares from it. Who is Divatox? A space pirate. She wanted to marry this demon thing, but she needed to make a human sacrifice. Guess who was the sacrifice? Wow. Yeah, Jason said, pushing his eggs around on his plate. Me and Kim, the first Pink Ranger, were scuba diving in the bay. She was visiting and was going to surprise the gang the next day. But we didn't get the chance since the pirates picked us up first. Tommy and the gang got a power boost and came out to rescue us. But it was nearly too late. What happened? Kim and me were dropped in a volcano. No way. And we were possessed by the spirit of Malagor, turning us into his kids or whatever. It's still a little hazy. We were like that for about a half hour, but that was the worst half hour of my life. He pushed the rest of his breakfast forward and took a sip of his coffee. I nearly killed him. It took some furry little space wizard to break us free of the mind control, but Kim and me still have that power from Malagor. It won't ever go away, and it's been one heck of a rocky road. We didn't even talk for 3 years before going on the red mission to the moon 2 years later. The moon? Jason nodded. The moon. Trent shook his head with a sigh, sipping his juice. Why are you even telling me this? I wasted 3 years of my life that I could have spent keeping Tommy out of trouble because I couldn't handle the nightmares, and what I got turned into, I let it eat away at me and lost sight of all the good things and the people that mattered. The nightmares won't ever go away. Tommy will be the first one to tell you that. He's had it happen to him more than once. He means well, but he'll coddle you and try to reassure you. But I don't think that's really what you need. You don't even know me. No, but I know that look. You need an outlet, something to keep your mind and your hands busy. He says you're an artist. Maybe expand from drawing into sculpture. Something that needs more concentration and skill, and put everything you've got into it. Let that be your Zen thing, your outlet for the times when you can't handle the nightmares and the guilt just by talking it out. Trent thought about it. Looking over the courses offered at the local community college the last few weeks had got him thinking about seriously pursuing art as his career instead of just a hobby. I'll think about it. Jason nodded. That's all I asked. So, what's your Zen thing? I'm a mechanic. Motorcycles, mostly, but I've been known to patch together a Zord or two with some help. The two men fall into a natural conversation after that, with Jason telling even more embarrassing stories of Dr. O's teenage years outside of his duties as a ranger. Ooh, okay. This is nice. I'm really loving this. This is great.
Probably a good time to mention I have no idea what the fuck is happening because I've seen 2 Power Ranger shows ever.
Oh man, so it was really, really good, man. I got to like the references of like Forever Red and the stuff, from the Turbo Power Rangers movie. Oh man,
the Turbo Power Rangers one where they were cars or something?
Yes, they got turbo powers in Turbo Power Rangers.
Wasn't the Blue Ranger like a teenager or something?
Actually, it was a little kid.
Oh.
Oh man,
I was assuming he was a teenager and they just cast the kid for some reason.
I think so. Oh man, but it was still really, man, it was good. Well, actually, no, the Turbo movie was not good, and the Turbo show was bad. I mean, that Turbo stuff was terrible. Ethan spends a lot of time at cyberspace in the lair over the summer working on an invention for a local young scientist convention that Dr. O convinced him to get into. Unlike Trent, he had seen the diary video Dr. O had made just in case something ever happened to him, so he knew exactly who the man crashing at his mentor's house was. Though, after coming and going from the house on Valencia Road for a few months, he was certain there was more to the story than he and the others were led to believe. When he considered certain possibilities, things he saw around the place started to make a little more sense. Ethan thankfully had enough sense and manners to keep his thoughts and comments to himself, and he was grateful for the extra help with building his invention when Mr. Scott's not busy and Ethan needs another set of hands to handle grunt work. Connor, on the other hand, so, when's the big day? Dr. O nearly choked on his soda, sitting up on the deck chair in the backyard and trying not to spill his drink on his book. What? He croaked when he was able to halfway breathe again. You and Big Red over there, Connor said, gesturing towards Ethan and Jason, working on the young man's invention. What in the world gave you that idea? At the sound of his raised voice, Jason peered around from behind the weather machine, dark eyes watching him, and brows raising in silent question, before he turned his attention back to the machine. Oh, come on, Dr. O. It's obvious to anyone with eyes. Dr. O schooled his features as best he could, trying and failing to adopt an air of authority. Connor, my personal life is not an appropriate topic for discussion. I'm not your student anymore. I'm your teammate, and that's a completely different set of rules now. So what's taking so long, or are you waiting for him to ask? That is none of your business. You are. I am not. You so are. Look at you. Your face is redder than my shirt, Connor grinned, leaning over and patting his mentor on the shoulder with a laugh before turning to get Ethan's attention. Hey, Kira owes me $20. Ethan sighed, shook his head before calling back over his shoulder. She does not. She does so. He's the one waiting. Guys, Jason tried to cut in as Dr. O tried to will himself to ignore the two young men by hiding behind his book. Eventually, he had to give a sharp, piercing whistle to get their attention. Once he had it, he shook his head with a sigh. Guys, the only thing he's waiting on is for everyone's schedules to line up so we can try again. Connor's exclamation of, what? Came out in the same moments as Ethan's. Try again? Jason, Dr. O said in a warning tone, would have done it ages ago if someone didn't run off the day before and accidentally create his own dinosaur monsters. Jason couldn't help but grin again. What do you mean again? The only way Dr. O was able to finish reading his book was by hiding inside. The only way Jason was able to get Connor to stop laughing was with the promise of food, and Ethan just shook his head, tried to get some work done, try not to think about the fact that his former teacher was hiding in his bedroom because he was too embarrassed to face anyone for the rest of the day. Well, that was interesting. It was definitely the weakest part of the episode, or this chapter so far. Why did I say the episode? I'm confused. Well, you know, just I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I am. I'm trying really hard. What time we got? All right, we got 6 minutes. So I think we're just gonna read this last little chunk. All right, 4. Kira figured it out not long after Trent, but before Ethan, and definitely before Connor. Then again, she could see quite a lot from the stage at cyberspace when she got up there to play. Like how all the time she'd seen Dr. O hanging out or relaxing after defeated Mesagog and then Zeltrax. The man still seemed to be on edge, never fully letting his guard down. She just figured that was his natural state. Being a Power Ranger for so long had to lend itself to a natural sort of paranoia, always being on guard. It was something she herself was still struggling with. But then when he walked in one Friday night after graduation with a friend, she'd recognized him from that video diary all those months ago. Well, it was like the man she'd known as her mentor and teacher was a completely different person. He smiled more, for one thing. And if it wasn't those eerily cryptic ones he would sometimes get, or the ones he'd give them when they'd done something to make him spaced out on a nostalgia trip, the fake ones that he tried to put up so the team wouldn't worry about him, but they'd worry anyway because they were his teammates. and she liked to think that now they weren't in school. They were his genuine friends. So when she noticed Dr. O's smiles reaching his eyes for the first time, and he didn't hold himself like he was expecting the ground to fall out from under him at any moment, she knew it had something to do with the man who seemed attached to him at the hip. The summer wore on, and her two best friends were gearing up to start college soon. Connor had gotten a scholarship, soccer of course. Ethan was starting at Reefside Tech, and Kira was still unsure what to do with herself. She was as selfish as it sounded even to her, thankful that she wasn't alone in this. Trent was also at a loss of how to move forward as he tried to pick between keeping his job at cyberspace, going to art school, or taking a year off from everything entirely and just getting his life sorted before he made any real decisions. She could get behind that. It was 1 week before Connor had to leave for Sacramento, and 2 before Ethan would be starting classes, when Trent had come to her after she finished one of her usual Friday sets. So, you going to the cookout on Sunday? What cookout? At Dr. O's. I don't even know. Ah, so Connor forgot. Well, it's a good thing I didn't then, he said, setting a bottle of apple juice on the counter. He even added a crazy straw, just the way she liked it. But you'll come? I'll have to clear it with my folks, but what's the occasion? Haley said some friends of his are coming to town. And, she asked, drinking her juice through the straw. It was ice cold, and it felt really good on her throat and soothed her voice. Always a favorite. And, Trent continued and lowered his voice so only she could hear him, they used to run around in crazy spandex and giant robots too. No way, she exclaimed, then lowered her voice when she got a few odd looks. She leaned forward as he pretended to wipe the counter in front of her. No way. There's no way. Really? Really. Who do you think is coming? So you'll go? Even if I have to sneak out, I'll be there. So do you know who? Trent shook his head. Sorry, I don't, but I can guarantee at least one will be there. It's supposed to be a surprise for us, but one of the girls from my, special. You can say it, Trent, she said quietly in a reassuring way as she could. You know we don't judge you for it. I know, but it's hard to say it out loud sometimes. Anyway, he said, wiping at the counter and looking around. This one pink ranger goes to my group, and I overheard her asking him at the last session if they were still on for the meetup. That doesn't mean anything. She said she can't wait to meet the others. Oh my god, we're going to meet the Power Rangers, she whispered, hissed excitedly. Then she frowned. How in the world could Connor forget to tell me about this? Or Ethan, for that matter. Does Ethan know? When Trent didn't answer or look her in the eye, she grumbled, when I see him, I'm going to hit him. I swear, this is just too big not to tell me. Well, to be fair, they have been pretty busy with getting ready for college. Ugh, don't remind me. Trent grinned. So I'll pick you up at Friday on Sunday? She had been very nervous. It wasn't every day you met the Power Rangers. Or rather, more Power Rangers. Older, more experienced, legendary Power Rangers. Even though they hadn't had their powers, well, most of their powers for a few months, she still couldn't see herself in anything but shades of yellow. She still wore the silver cuff with her yellow dino gem on it, completely drained and useful as a paperweight. Now it held more of a sentimental value than anything practical, and because of the color of her gem, it matched all the other yellow clothes she owned. What's that? Okay. Trent had shown up exactly on time in a pretty beat-up white car. She'd asked him if he picked it up in a junkyard, to which his answer had been yes, followed quickly by Jason's been working on it. He's a great mechanic. And that had been that.
Oh. Sorry, I was yelling at my game for doing something stupid.
Okay. All right. She wasn't surprised by the revelation about their mentor's boyfriend, to be honest. He had to have something to do with himself after retiring from rangering. They pulled up to 1992 Valencia Road half an hour after leaving her house, stopping only once because he hadn't left early enough to gas up his car before picking her up. She'd given him a bit of cash to help split the cost. After all, he was her ride back home, too. They pulled up alongside a few more cars than she was used to seeing parked outside the house. As they stepped out into the evening sun, they heard laughter and music coming from around back. and the scent of charred meats and sweet sticky sauce clung to the air. She grabbed her bag and guitar out of the back seat, and together, White and Yellow walked around the house to join the party. Connor's face lit up when he spotted them. Kira, Trent, you guys made it. No thanks to you, Kira shouted back playfully as her best friend and teammate came up to give her a hug, and Trent a hearty slap on the back. She looked around at the unfamiliar faces of people clad in a rainbow of colors. Where's Ethan? Did he ride over with you? Yeah, he's down in the lair with Haley and one of the Blue Rangers. Connor moved to stand between his friends, draping a friendly arm across their shoulders and leading them further into the festivities. Hey guys, look who made it. Trent's cheeks flushed as Kira winced from the shouting right in her ear. She kind of understood people's issues with their Patera scream now. She led them to a table Latin with snacks near a grill, where two men stood arguing over how to best cook on it. One of them she recognized quickly as Mr. Scott. The other, well, it had been a while since she'd seen the video diary, but it could have been... Oh no, Rocco. The last time I listened to you, we damn near lost our eyebrows. I know what I'm doing, man. You're not letting them cook long enough on either side. You can't just keep flipping and flipping. It won't cook evenly. Son, don't son me. I'm just as old as you are. You'll always be the rookie to me, Rocky. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so good. That is perfect. Oh, I like that. Because it's again alluding to the fact that Rocky replaced Jason. Oh, that's good. All right, boys, break it up, came another voice, soft and gentle and full of mirth. Rocky, let Jason alone to his task before Aisha comes over and kicks you both off the grill. She wouldn't, Jason said. Oh yeah? Just ask Adam why he and Rocky don't horseplay around the fire pit at my house anymore, the tall blonde woman said with a sweet smile. Kira turned her attention back to the snack tables. Yikes, she said, grabbing up a bottle of water from a bucket of ice. She looked around, trying to put names to the faces she remembered from the video diary. She, Trent, and Connor maneuvered around to the couple of deck chairs at the edge of the crowd. So who's missing? Trent asked after they settled in with drinks and plates of snacks. Behind them, a voice piped up. A pink, 2 blacks, 2 yellows, and a blue. The sudden appearance of Ethan and the blue Turbo Ranger caught the white and yellow dinos by surprise, nearly spilling their snacks on the grass. Guys, this is Justin Stewart, super genius and one of the judges from the Young Scientist Convention. I didn't know one of Tommy's kids would be competing. If I did, I probably would have excused myself so there wouldn't be a conflict of interest. You're our age, was all Trent could manage to say. Justin laughed, patting Trent on the back. I'm just glad I'm not the youngest one at these get-togethers anymore. The 5 of them stuck together for most of the barbecue. An hour after Trent and Kira arrived, Dr. O finally showed up, causing a lot more chatter and excitement. Dr. O made the rounds and mingled before eventually reaching his latest team. Enjoying yourselves? Heck yeah, Connor exclaimed as over by the grill another round of argument was breaking out and was once again quelled by the blonde woman. Ignore them. They'll argue about the flavor of tap water if you let them, he said with a laugh. It's a red thing. Get too many of us in the same room, at least half are going to argue. Red thing? Yeah, Dr. O said as Kira moved her legs out of the way so he could sit down. It's weird. Justin scoffed. I was a 12-year-old who grew up every time I morphed, Justin said with a shake of his head. You can't get much weirder than that, Tommy. Yeah, you're right. I still feel really awful about that. I know it wasn't easy for you, he said, rubbing the back of his neck with a guilty look on his face. If we had to do it again, I would have had you leave with the rest of us. Hey, at least I didn't go running off into space. Man, trying to explain to their families that they were Power Rangers was the worst, especially TJ's dad. He didn't know whether to be proud or angry for months. I'm sorry you were put in that position. You should have called. Tommy, dude, seriously, after your wreck, I didn't want to bring any more stress to your door. Kira rolled her eyes. Anyway, as nice as this nostalgia trip is, you were going to impart some ancient Ranger wisdom, she said, adding a bit of sarcasm halfway through, earning herself a laugh from her friends and an exasperated shake of the head from her mentor. Yeah, that's the weird thing. Ranger colors tend to attach to certain personalities or bring out specific traits in people. Blues are usually the really smart ones, the techs and the geniuses. Except Rocky. Rocky had his moments. Before Jason came back, Rocky was the voice of reason. And believe me, I needed that to help keep me in line when my ego got too big for my head. Kira chuckled. What about Yellow? Yellows tend to be humanitarians, peacemakers. When everyone else starts fighting, the yellows always bring us back to the team. Connor barked at a laugh. That's ironic, since she was the first one to try and quit, and that was before we even got the Morphers. She did? Trent asked, and Curie gave a nod. Connor was next, she said. Makes sense, Trent said with a shrug. What about White, Dr. O? The man shrugged. So far, there's only been 4 of us. Not really enough to figure it out. So far, there's a difference between when a man or a woman is the White Ranger. For women, it's like they take the role of the Pinks, the emotional support for the team. But you and me are the extra Rangers, the ones that have a harder time and bigger obstacles to overcome, but we come out stronger for it, and our strength backs up the rest of the team when everything else fails. He shrugged. That's the best I can come up with as far as ancient Ranger wisdom goes. The rest of the evening and into the night was spent with laughter and music, good food and good friends. Justin reveled in the fact that no, he was not the youngest Ranger there anymore. Jason and Rocky had nearly burned the food as they'd been caught up in an argument over which was the better Zord, the ninja ape or the original Tyrannosaurus. Connor had put an end to it by pointing out his Tyrannosaurus was the best Zord, newer, faster, and more responsive. The more everyone laughed and joked, telling stories about working with Dr. O or adventures in their lives after they left the Rangers, the young Dino team loosened up. Before the get-together was over, Trent was telling everyone who'd listen about his evil clone, which of course brought Dr. O into the conversation about his evil clone, but it was Justin who ultimately won with his recounting of the robotic versions of his own team of Turbo Rangers, all of whom were taken out into space to keep fighting the good fight. As the party wound down, and various guests bid farewell until next time, the 4 younger Dino Rangers and the lone blue Turbo had gathered around a fire bowl. So, do you guys do this every year? Near enough. We missed last year because it was Tommy's turn to host, but he went back on active duty, and Jason was in Europe on tour with Tanya running her security detail. He shrugged. We had a 4th of July thing in Stone Canyon with Aisha, though. Fireworks and smoothies. Well, that was it for the Power Rangers fan fiction today.
Holy shit, that was long.
Oh, and that wasn't even the end of the first chapter.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh yeah, each chapter is very long, even though they're kind of divided up into chapters, but they're technically pages. Like, we're still on page 1.
How the fuck?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
But I gotta be honest though, it was really good. I'm actually gonna say it straight up. I think it actually was very well done. It actually respected the Ranger lore, and I gotta say, I mean, it might possibly be the best fan fiction we've read so far.
Nope.
Why?
Because it doesn't have a human vibrator.
Well, on my channel, I say it's the best one.
No.
All right, well then, what's the best one, Ninja?
Oh, what's
The
the
one with
best
the human
one?
vibrator.
Maybe that one, Sean. Maybe. Absolutely, maybe. But what about that SpongeBob one?
Fuck you.
I'm sorry, the what? There is what fanfiction?
There's a SpongeBob fan fiction of him. Okay, so Sandy was explaining SpongeBob.
No, shut up.
What?
We're not
Explain.
talking about it.
What?
We're not talking about it.
Yes, we are.
No, we are not. I refuse. Sour can back me up on this. We're not talking about it.
Well,
Oh, Sarah knows what I'll do to
We're not
him
fucking
because
talking
it's
about
that,
that, man.
So he better choose his words carefully.
I legit just spoiled it, basically. So basically, Sandy was explaining to SpongeBob what cum was.
See, that's the type of... I'm gonna kick your ass.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
Wow.
Don't throw me with a good time.
Red Robin. Yum.
Oh yeah, I want to fight that guy too. I'm gonna fight the mascot, and I'm gonna fight you for even mentioning that story. We do not have mentions of that story ever on here.
Yes, we
I
do.
refuse to talk about it because
You know
that
what-
shit was the worst thing I've ever read.
Let me
And
kill
don't-
it.
Hey, Austin, do you know what cum is?
I would hope so.
I have a feeling this is going to be the final stream. He's just had enough.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I've had enough.
Show's canceled. Get the fuck out.
Alrighty. I'll just trash compactor my.
Dylan was like, it was better than a lot I heard. It was really good. It respects the Ranger lore, a lot of throwbacks. It was really nice, actually. It was a nice change of pace from the stuff that we usually read.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Very
because
nice.
a lot of them are explaining what cum is. I'm not letting this go. I will bring it up every time we meet.
See, that's the type of. I'm gonna kick your ass.
I'm gonna be outside your house with a sign and a boombox that says, "Do you know what cum is?"
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow? Yo! I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
I just noticed a guy didn't get up. If you look to the left, a guy doesn't get up.
Holy shit. Wait, hang on. Now I gotta watch it again.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow? Yo! I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Holy shit, you're right.
That's the new guy. That's the only one not part of the asshole heritage.
Oh my god.
That makes that scene even funnier that there's one guy who isn't an asshole.
Oh my god.
Self-proclaimed anonymous.
Dude,
There
that
was
fucking
only-
movie is great.
Oh, it's an amazing movie.
Uh-huh.
It's the best movie of all time.
Nah.
It's one of the few movies where it kind of deserved a shitty sequel because that would have just proved its point.
You know what? It's probably one of the best comedy movies.
Yes.
It might even be the best comedy movie.
Yeah, I gotta think on that one.
Definitely best parody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, actually, speaking of parodies, so yesterday I started watching Superhero Movie.
Oh.
Is that like disaster movie and stuff?
Kinda. It has Drake Bell in it from Drake and Josh.
Oh God, where's the door, Josh? It's I was gonna cut it out with the buzzsaw. Go get it. All right, I will.
The movie's cringy.
It's not it, but it has like that like kind of like scary movie cringe where it's like it knows it's stupid, so it's trying way too hard to be stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's that like it's trying to like make fun of like 2002 Spider-Man.
Yes, and they do it actually kind of well.
All I really know about Scary Movie is that I quoted that thing way too much.
Legit. Drake quotes Spider-Man like for the first 10 minutes.
I was talking about Scary Movie. I quote that thing all the time.
Oh man, Scary Movie's also kind of that cringy film too.
I mean, there is the part where Phil Swift cuts his foot off, so that's
That's a classic scene, Drake and Josh. That very well. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Jerry for the win.
Get the fuck out. You're not getting canceled today, you son of a bitch.
Oh boy, Jerry.
I feel like if anything were to get this canceled, it'd be him.
Well, I mean, it could be anybody.
It could be him. It could be the fanfic. It could be me if I ever decide to try drinking, because that's going to be a journey.
It could be Sauerkraut. It could be Nindroid.
He could be any one of us.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, it could be Jonathan. Could be Jonathan. It could be Angry Care Bears. You know, it could be anybody.
Oh yeah. Also, Austin, where was that porn review that you promised?
First
I'm working on it.
Well, see, I didn't promise anything.
Yes, you fucking did.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I
Where's
did
the
not.
porn?
Well, you see,
How do I do that thing where I make the mic really loud? Like, do I just put it in my throat or something?
well, you don't want to put it in your throat.
Yeah, but what's that thing people do that makes it like a lot louder?
I feel like you would have to get really close to the mic.
Yeah.
It's right up to me, and it's not doing it. I don't have this thing on a handle, by the way. I'm gonna cancel it all on Tuesday. No, the fuck you're not.
Oh fuck. Well,
Can we just mute it? Can we just mute him the entire time?
I'm very scared because I think Angry Care Bears is going to be late on Tuesday, which means I got to deal with Jerry.
Oh no.
Alone. And Jonathan.
Hopefully I'll show up on time, though I can't promise I'm gonna make things better.
Show up on time or drunk. No, that will make things a lot better.
Basically, you should practice getting good at muting people at the correct time.
Yeah. Because hopefully Jonathan actually saw it, because I'm planning on doing a review of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
And if he doesn't do that, we can review porn.
Well, I mean, I can't. Well, see.
I'm gonna say the word.
Austin.
Oh, no, the fuck you're not.
Austin.
Yeah.
If Terrence does it all the time, he doesn't get canceled. I mean, like, you
Who's
can.
Terrence?
He's the YouTuber that Austin and I watch.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, we have a female on the panel, and I can't,
Well, if she's not gonna be there.
Oh, and we got memes of destruction in the house.
I'm playing around.
What's up, memes? Great to see memes of destruction, hashtag Dragonzord. Hell yeah, that's the best. That is the best.
You know how long it took me to realize that the Megazord in Samurai was just a guy in a costume?
Oh my god, you are right.
I legit thought it was just like CGI or something when I was a kid.
It's like they just transformed into a giant human.
That is horrifying. I've always wondered, is there only the inside of the head, or is there an actual interior to it?
I think it's interior, I would say. I mean, the Megazord, it's a pretty complex thing. It's like a giant robot that's made up of separate, smaller robots, which are called Zords. I mean,
yeah. The one thing I didn't like about Samurai is that after a while they started getting lazy with the Zord designs. Like at one point, it was just a guy on like a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, that was just. Yeah. Hail to you two memes. How you doing, sir? But man, like Power Rangers fun. And I think I've even said this is like I've been rereading the Power Rangers comic book line from Boom Studios. Oh man, that shit was really good. Lord Drakken's an amazing villain. It's basically evil Tommy from an alternate universe, but he has the powers of both the Green Ranger and the White Ranger. Pretty powerful stuff. Memes like "Let's go Voltron Force." Yes, Voltron.
The only thing I've been really revisiting was that I was rewatching My Name is Earl because I completely forgot how funny that show is.
What show?
My Name is Earl.
Oh, My Name is Earl. I don't think I've ever seen My Name is Earl. I think I might have to check it out at some point, maybe.
It is fucking hilarious, and I'm impressed that this show is able to keep a running joke going on the whole show without it getting old.
I mean, doesn't it have the guy who played Dave and Alvin and the Chipmunks in it?
Yeah, that was my thought. And I hate that. Now I hate that movie because now it's Jason Lee without a mustache, which is the weirdest thing.
Bro, Alvin and the Chipmunks is so trash.
I
mean-
have not seen it. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, and the DVD I had kept freezing in random areas, so I still have not seen the full movie.
Wait, you guys are talking about the franchise?
Yeah,
No,
Alvin and the
The,
Chipmunks.
the one where Jason Lee was Dave.
I thought he was Dave in all three. In all four.
He was.
Yeah, I was saying he. Yeah.
Yeah. Look,
I'm,
yeah,
I'm,
those movies are trash.
I mean, you got to admit, David Cross was still kind of funny.
Mhm. Yeah.
Wasn't David Cross the guy who played Ian, the bald guy?
Yeah, I've
Who's
seen
the
I've seen
best
those
part?
pictures where it's a bald guy, and some kid comments on a YouTube video. Did you try to steal the chipmunks?
Let's see here. Dylan's like, I never liked Voltron. I feel like it's a ripoff of Power Rangers. I feel
Yeah, I
like
didn't notice the similarities.
everything that came out after Power Rangers is like a ripoff of Power Rangers.
Power Rangers was a ripoff of Power Rangers, basically.
Power Rangers was indeed a ripoff of Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, wasn't that a thing they did? They would like reuse old Japanese footage or something.
Yeah, they
Which is why the
used,
Yellow Ranger had a bulge in the first show.
they did indeed use footage from Super Sentai, which was the Japanese version of Power Rangers, but it was before Power Rangers.
Also, one thing I heard about the first show was that the Blue Rangers actor was gay, and the red actor was a dick about it. So that's fun.
I never heard about that.
I know it's one of the earlier ones, but I don't know if it was the footage reusing one.
Memes like Alvin and the Chipmunk cartoon is better than the movies.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
was surprised to find out there was one.
I will agree with that.
The one thing I will give the movie the benefit of is that you can tell they are actually fucking chipmunks. Because in the cartoon, they look like stunted children.
that is also true.
Yeah, a little bit. Voltron was a ripoff of Voltron. Both were a ripoff of Super Sentai. Oh wait, sorry, hang on. Power Rangers ripped off Voltron. Both were a ripoff of Super Sentai. Oh shit. Then maybe I got my shit wrong. Damn.
Yeah, wait, that is true because Voltron came out in the 80s. Power Rangers came out in the 90s, am I right?
I think
The most of Voltron I've seen was like the first 2 seasons of an Netflix show.
Mighty Morphin
Oh,
came out.
There was a
Nine-
show. Oh, yeah.
Mighty Morphin came out in 1993.
Yeah, so then Voltron came out first. So, yeah.
I mean, but I guess Power Rangers was the most successful. I mean, it got a bunch of spin-offs, a couple movies.
And then Voltron got a show on Netflix that apparently started off good, but then was a train wreck after a while.
Damn.
That's what I've heard people say about it. I stopped watching like halfway through season 2 for some reason.
But I don't. I mean, but the best Power Ranger is Tommy. I mean, there's just no denying it at this point.
Wasn't there a crossover between them and the live action Ninja Turtles back then?
Yes. Okay. So before they did the crossover in the Boom Studios comics with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they did a crossover beforehand with Power Rangers in Space, which it was actually the Power Rangers in Space lineup, and it was actually the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from their live action show, which was called, I think it was called Ninja Turtles: The Next Generation, where it also had the female turtle, and then they had a crossover, and it was actually kind of fire, to be quite honest with you.
What is with Ninja Turtles and having the best unexpected crossovers? Because apparently they had one with Batman that was really good.
Oh, they did. It was it was called Batman. I think it was called Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, it was.
And basically, Shredder was a villain, and Batman fought Shredder, and then there was also Damian Wayne's Robin and Batgirl.
And then all the villains became furries.
You know what? Something like that.
The fucked up thing is that Harley became a hyena, which, if you know anything about female hyenas, you know that the sex is unfortunate.
Okay, well, I don't need to know. I really don't want to know.
No.
Apparently, their vagina
Okay.
is
Okay, well, no, hold on. No, nope, 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 no.
I feel like every time I say the word vagina, it's just gonna be an
No,
hour of
no,
no.
no, 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 no,
I'm just
no,
waiting for someone to make a
no,
compilation of you saying no for an hour.
no,
Yes.
no.
I'll do
Yes.
it. I'll clip out this stream. Just make it an hour.
I tried editing one of the streams I was in. I cannot fucking download the video. I think it's too long or something.
Yeah, because all the streams are because basically all the streams I do are basically over like an hour, 2 hours long.
Yeah, well, using StreamYard, you can record it. I mean, you can download it. Download any of your things. So yeah.
Well, I probably lost my side of things. So shit. Which is probably why it's a bad idea for us for me to play video games and stuff on here, because I can't record my stuff. So.
Mhm.
You know what? I actually have a perfect clip for you guys that I'm going to be uploading actually here soon. You will understand.
I have a feeling I won't.
Meme said I watched the crossover, thought it was fun. You know what? It really was a fun crossover. I thought it was actually. It's like, but it also kind of makes sense having the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles team up with, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers like that, or like the Power Rangers is like that's like a great idea. I mean, that's just like you kind of have to do that in a sense. It was like it's just some good stuff.
Power Rangers Ninjago crossover.
A Power Rangers Ninjago crossover.
Did they even make Lego Power Rangers?
Well, that's basically the Lego Ninjago movie for you.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Seriously, I really despise that movie.
I feel like I'm the only one who doesn't hate that movie.
Well, I don't hate it. It's just I have problems with it. The freaking movie. Why call it Lego Ninjago when it's basically Lego Power Rangers?
I mean, you got a Lego Power Rangers out of it.
Yeah, that's exactly true. And then none of the characters acted like the characters from.
They had more. Yeah, my main complaint was that the other ninjas didn't really do much. Like in the video game, they had a lot more personality.
No, see, I didn't play the video game.
It's pretty good. I mean, Lego games are never god awful, so.
Yeah.
Which has more crossovers? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Tom and Jerry, or Scooby Doo?
Scooby Doo.
Yeah,
Oh,
Scooby.
God, I've seen bits of the Willy Wonka Tom and Jerry one. The funny thing is, it's so bad it manages to top the Tunnel of Nightmare scene, kind of.
Oh man, but I mean, Scooby Doo even like had a crossover with the Harlem Globetrotters,
and then they had one with WWE,
and then they had one with Batman a few times. That's the most popular one, apparently.
And then there's a clip of Shaggy punching Joker. I just love that one YouTube video. Are we gonna have a snack? Yes, Shaggy. We'll all have a snack. And it's just a picture of Batman.
I'm on episode 4. What the hell is season 7?
Dude, EJ, I'm on episode 4 of season.
Well, according to him, it's absolute trash. To me, it's just right on the middle season.
Oh no! Season 7 is shit.
I mean, my tastes are shit, so maybe.
No, but season 7 is garbage. Well, then we get the best season right after that. Season 8 is fantastic.
Episode 8 is really good. Or season 8. Not episode 8.
But
Only.
Hands of Time, though, I can't stand that season.
What I noticed is that was the first one that wasn't like a direct result of the Serpentine. Because if you go back to the show, because if you watch the whole show, you realize it's basically a long ass chain of events.
Mm-hmm.
Like he releases the Serpentine, that gives Garmadon the weapons. So then he goes to the Overlord, that causes him to attack the city. That causes Zane to die. So they go to Chain. That allows him to get the Anaconda. That's what allows Moro to escape, and then that's what causes season 6.
Yeah, exactly. That's true, but also there's even more history. Like, oh yeah, Wu and Garmadon in the past, after the Serpentine War, they got a fight with the Hands of Time. It's like that's one thing that I actually like about the show. The story that they try to do always results with something from the past, so then it builds up the lore and also the universe. But then sometimes it's like, seriously, now we got snakes again. In which, I don't know, Sean, if you saw, but so one of my friends on Twitter legit was text me saying, hey, you gotta watch season 15.
I haven't seen anything past half of season 12.
Well, I legit sat down because the guy was telling me, oh yeah, season 15 is great. It's like the best season of newer ones. I'm like, okay, let me sit down and watch this. Oh my god. It's snakes again.
Okay, that is all the information I need.
And also, the main villain
No, do not.
is legit a...
No.
Okay.
I've gone this far avoiding spoilers. I'm not gonna have it start now.
Okay, all I'm gonna say is it's alright garbage.
Sounds
I'm gonna
about
watch
right.
this season, and it's just gonna end up being the best thing ever.
Oh yeah, that's kind of what I thought with Sons of Garmadon at first. When I heard about it, oh yeah, it's a cult trying to resurrect Garmadon. I'm like, how the heck are they gonna do that? And then I watched the show, I'm like, oh my god.
For some reason, I thought it was his literal sons. Like, he had several more kids, but he just got around a lot.
Like, legit, I love this season. It's like, oh my god, I thought this was gonna be garbage, just like season 7.
Am I the only one weirded out by the fact that one of them has fingers?
Oh yeah, you mean Kilo.
Yeah, why do they have fingers? It is disturbing.
I don't know. But that's also with all those big guys.
I think back then when they had them, they were the normal fist things that the figures were.
I don't know. I got it.
Because the only other big fig I can remember being in the show was one of the snake things from season 7.
Yeah, and also Dog Shank, the girl in Skybound
Icons thing.
Yeah,
I think they might have kept her as. I think it's because she had gloves. It wasn't as weird.
Yeah. Trying to think about who else. I think that's it, actually.
The only thing I didn't like about season 8 is that they didn't do enough with Mr. E. Like that, they could have done a lot more with that.
Do you know what they were gonna do with Mr. E?
Yeah, they were gonna make him the Beta Zane thing.
Yeah, exactly, and that would have been badass, legit. That's what I did. Like, I originally was gonna do like little stop motion Lego Ninjago movies, like 3 of them. I planned it out like a trilogy, and I was gonna kind of adapt some stuff. First one would have been like an adoption of Sons of Garmadon. Mr. E would have been that. Legit. He would have had just a huge arc, and that would have been perfect.
I kind of hate that they just get rid of him in season 9.
Yeah, but then once again, that also promoted Garmadon's character, in which he was.
The only other thing I didn't like about season 9 is that they were way too vague about what happened to the old lady shapeshifter. Like the
Yeah,
last time you see her, it's not implied that she died, so it's a little weak.
yeah, that's also true. But my main problem with season 9 is like the first half was a little bit slow. Like you either are for the Resistance arc or the Dragon Hunter arc.
No!
What? I like the
Sorry,
Dragon
what?
Hunter one. I like the Dragon Hunter one because it was the original 4 again. Like,
No!
who the
Stop it,
fuck is
Ryan.
doing that?
It's Sour. Your boy
I'm
Sour.
not doing anything.
All right, that's it. You lost your spine privileges.
Legit, he was the
Honestly,
annoying
I'm
one.
not doing anything.
Well, then who's doing it? Because it's not me.
If you
I have no fucking idea.
if you keep doing it, I'm gonna break
It's
all your
either
bones in
you or
alphabetical
Austin.
order.
Dylan's like, I wanted to do something
Honestly,
similar with my
that's the same
X-Wing minifigures, just don't have the time.
Yeah, I wanted to do stop motion, but I can't keep my phone stable at all.
But I have a lot of the Ninjago minifigures along with the Star Wars ones, so simply I could
It
do
took me it took me forever to get the original 4. Like for the longest time, I didn't have Kai. Why are we talking about crappy Ninja? Get the fuck out.
No. Don't. Hey, listen. Well, we've been on the subject for quite a
Vagina.
bit. I mean, we.
I was gonna see if I was gonna check and see if I just randomly say vagina. It's just gonna make him shut off.
No!
not-
It's gotta be Austin at this point.
We are not. I repeat, we are not.
Oh yeah, I should have known it was Austin.
Vagina.
No!
It has to be Austin.
Dylan's like,
Yeah,
vids
it
like
is.
that take forever.
It
Yeah,
does.
it
Yeah,
does.
that's the thing I've heard all the time about stop motion. It takes fucking forever.
Well, I made a tribute to the all 9 Skywalker Saga films, and I know Austin Ryan has seen it. Oh my god, that took me about like 6 months just to record all of it.
It can take me a few months just to make the damn storyboard, and then I never finish the damn thing.
Well, that was me with my stop motion movie. The whole script is out. And I did make a plan, and you can even ask Ryan that because Ryan was there with me while I was telling him, trying to explain to him, oh yeah, this is gonna happen in the first film, then the second one, then the third film, and then I'll go back and do a prequel trilogy.
Scripts for me take forever. Like I constantly have to change the plot because I always think of a better one when I'm done.
Yeah.
The sad thing is, I'm more likely to finish the soundtrack before I do the script. Is he?
What?
Did he die?
I don't know. There's only one way to find out.
Vagina.
Oh,
Star Wars is actually garbage.
Season 7
Star
is
Wars
the
is the
best
worst
ever.
thing I have ever seen.
I don't like where this is going. Stop! Stop! No! Please, Larry, you don't understand. You don't know what you're doing here.
What the fuck?
that's gonna basically be for every time anybody says something that shouldn't be said.
Penis.
No!
We're not talking about that.
Okay, I am back.
You're just in time to see me bully Austin.
No, just that's usually my job, though.
Yeah, I'm just better at it.
Man, listen. I already. What?
How dare you? You're simping over my own cousin.
The fuck?
Man.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, so Sean, Austin. Well, basically, Austin was simping over my own cousin, and she blocked him.
I'm sorry?
I wasn't simping.
Yes, you were.
How the fuck? How would you know?
Simp.
Because you are simp for Jim's mom.
Yeah, and
That's it. Does he have a Twitch? I want to go watch them and see how many times Austin donates.
Yeah, I don't.
Thank you for the Twitch donation. Pick up my pencil.
So yeah, about scripts for you, Sean.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I heard. Well, basically for me with scripts, it does take a little bit of a while. Like, for example, I'm trying to produce like my own YouTube show called, and I know this sounds cringy, The Darren Raccoon Man.
Trust me, I have more cringier ideas.
No, but that's just the title, and I'm sticking to it because it actually fully suits the show. Because the hero is called Raccoon Man. All right, he's just a simple kid.
That sounds like trash.
I know it sounds like trash because that's kind of.
Want to hear an interesting fact about raccoons?
Yes.
Raccoons can fit into holes that are up to 4 meters, and the human asshole can stretch across 6 meters.
I don't like where this is going. Stop! Stop! No! Please, lady, you don't understand. You don't know what you're doing here.
Worth it.
Oh my god! What the?
I have a feeling that's going to be playing a lot.
You're not.
Well, okay. The name is supposed to sound like trash. Because do raccoons love trash?
I mean,
they love fitting into holes that are 6 meters wide.
So raccoons love trashy names. Okay, but anyway, he's just basically my own superhero that I created like, oh my god, like 5 years ago. And then
I don't think I've ever made up a functional superhero.
Well, I wrote plenty, and Ryan even knows because he was part. Like, I made tons of comics and all of that about these characters, and my superhero team was the Super Six, which sounds like the most simplest name ever.
The Super Six.
Yeah, better than anything I wrote back then.
The Super Six with the members of the Darren Raccoon Man, Swag Man, Mr. Jump,
Mr. Jump, and Swag Man.
Yep. The Whip. He just carries whips, so he's basically Whiplash. Yeah. The Whip kind of sounds like the Wimp. Not gonna lie. Then we had Reality Reaper, which she was badass. She's basically like the Prowler. So.
Oh, so you're ripping off the Prowler now?
Yeah. And then we have the Shocker.
All right, that's just
Shocker though. The Shocker though is legit, almost like a Prowler with electricity powers. But then each one of them, the reason why I wrote them it's funny because each one of them sound very cringy in their own way, but then they have dark stories and very mature stories. So it's like, what the heck?
I do the same thing all the time.
It's like, for example, the Shocker. His wife got murdered by the wife's father because the wife's father is a terrorist group leader who he is the great grandson of Adolf Hitler.
What?
What the fuck?
No!
Yeah, so basically my main antagonist of the entire thing, his name is called Director Colin Fox, in which he basically is in charge of this own terrorist group called Baya. And
Android, I mean this in the most nicest way you can imagine. Oh no. What the fuck is your profile picture?
Uh-oh. Well, I mean,
This sounds extremely stupid.
hey, it's the nicest way you could say it.
Hey, look,
I can't say anything I've made has ever gone to Hitler levels of absurd, but
well, I'm gonna say there's a huge
No!
okay, there's a huge arc of him dealing with this because he did not know at first. He just found out he has a darkness inside him. So then he went on to look more and more about his family history, and it takes about like 8 issues till he actually finds out. And then he actually thinks about committing suicide. That's how bad it is for him himself.
Why is it so dark for a guy called the Shocker?
No, his name is Director Colin Fox.
Why is it so dark for him?
He's my main end because I want to try and make him feel sympathetic.
Sympathetic? This guy sounds
just
really
have him be a
evil.
classic Saturday morning villain who does stupid shit for stupid reasons.
Well, that was him before.
I'd much rather that. That's like, damn. Like, why is that shit so dark?
Yeah, 90% of the villains in my stuff are just assholes.
Yeah, well, those are some of my villains also, but like Dr. Smile, he legit is basically a Black Hood.
I thought he was gonna be like the Joker or something.
No, he's just like a bounty hunter mercenary guy who goes room by room shooting people. I mean,
then.
Yeah, he's a serial killer. He can do whatever. I mean, like, he does have reason why, of course. But yeah. Then you have other villains like Mr. Shadow, in which Mr. Shadow is disguised in the shadow. He's also another mercenary. Most of my villains are just mercenaries with powers.
Again, most of mine are just assholes.
And then we have Mantis, in which Mantis is my favorite villain that I made because he's also very sympathetic, and he also has a very, very dark story. So basically,
Mantis, hate him.
So basically, his mom and sister left him and his dad.
Oh my god, that's
yeah. So then his dad basically was struggling with bills. So then he got hired by Director Fox, in which you guys know Director Fox. He's the terrorist group leader, dude. So then he became like the top scientist, along with Dr. Rick Richards, in which basically then they make like a super serum, in a sense, using Mantis DNA, in which I know that's a little weird, but they did it.
Does he sound like Seth Rogen?
So then they do it, and then causes like a huge explosion, huge radiation error during the experimentation with Kevin. Kevin's father, the Mantis's father, legit, he's dead. Kevin is absorbed by the explosion, making his skin now turn green and deformed. Kind of sounds like Green Goblin from Amazing Spider-Man 2.
10-minute warning, guys.
Alright. So then Mantis, he goes on, he pursues, and he tries to kill Director Fox. But then Director Fox is like, hey, look, if you keep me alive, I can create a serum that you will become normal again. So then basically they do that, and then he becomes a villain with armor and stuff like that, shielding his... Yeah, it's very cool and everything. Until then, Raccoon Man actually takes his girlfriend, and then that causes a lot of stuff.
Does he go into a 6-meter hole?
Let me just tell you, he goes through depression, and then he tries kidnapping the girl 4 times.
What the fuck?
And I remember, I even explained to Austin, in the show that I planned out, he would kidnap her like 3 times within the...
Like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, she sucks more than Kirsten Dunst's Mary Jane. She gets kidnapped so much. She makes Princess Peach look like she can actually hold herself.
Exactly. So the first time he kidnapped her, because he couldn't lose another person. He couldn't.
Ah, yes, a true incel.
He lost his father, he lost his mother, and he lost his sister. The only one he has left is her. Overall. So then
we all have dead families. That doesn't give you an excuse to kidnap people.
Exactly. That's what Raccoon Man then comes up. He fights him. Then he goes to Juvie. Then, like 15 issues later on, he comes back. He tries to be like a normal, cool guy and everything, controlling his anger, controlling his emotions. But then he goes to apologize to Amanda, and Amanda acts like a total bitch to him by saying that you will never change and all of that, saying that you're always going to be the Mantis no matter what. You won't ever change, basically. So then that basically drove him a little bit into a psychopath in a way. The issue was called the Rebirth of the Inner Demon, in which it's the rebirth of Mantis.
Rebirth Island.
In which then Mantis, at the end of that issue, then kidnaps Amanda again.
Oh, God.
Oh.
And
Are you just going to have everybody get kidnapped?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So then Amanda gets kidnapped, and instead of just like, oh yeah, I'm going to keep you hostage, or I'm going to kill you, or stuff like that, he's actually going to transform her to be bad.
Is she going to? Are they going to turn Amanda into a mantis?
No, no, but
well,
she becomes Miss Toxic Wonders. That was a villain that we created, in which she basically...
She sounds more like a mistake.
Yeah.
I've got punch for days, bitch.
Mistake. But anyway, so...
Miscarriage.
Wait, what did you just say?
Miscarriage.
No!
So then we continue on, and then Raccoon Man saves Amanda from being Miss Toxic One. Basically, yeah, this isn't you, and all of that stuff. Normal shit. So then afterwards, Mantis kidnaps her again.
Oh my God.
And legit kills her by cutting her entire head off with a knife. So then that interleads... Oh, well, Sean just left. But anyway, that interleads to then Raccoon Man trying to kill Mantis fully. And Mantis is now feeling sympathetic. He's like, oh my God, I just killed the woman I love. He's just in shock, basically. And Raccoon Man's in shock, but in an aggressive way. Like, I'm gonna kill you now.
Don't you just love it when that happens?
So yes.
Ninjoid, you know what? I have a new clip that basically sums up everything that you said. Basically just your ideas in general.
Oh dear.
Alright, it's loading, so I'm just
What? What the fuck?
Hey, I thought that was Ryan's clip.
well, I mean wait, does Sour have a clip just like that?
I mean,
Let me
we
look.
basically have the same one.
You look like a
Mine is
snake!
longer.
Yes! What? What the fuck?
Okay, an extended version of it.
Dude, JonTron is so good. I love him.
Is I hope he's gonna make a new video soon.
You know, JonTron always does this. You know, he leaves for a while, then he comes back.
And then he leaves for a while, and then he comes back.
Pretty much. But every time he comes back, it's always something cool. He's just that kind of guy. But yeah, overall, I mean, I think the stream was pretty fun, I would say.
Yeah, we were talking about how bad my ideas are.
Yeah, I mean, when someone's getting kidnapped about 20,000 times, I mean, it's always an amusing conversation.
It would. I'm gonna say when you guys actually see it in the show, it's gonna make sense.
Even, I don't know. I mean, but that's so weird. I mean, someone getting kidnapped a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just. I mean, that just makes Princess Peach look like she's even able to not get kidnapped that much.
No, but it's funny because the girlfriend is a badass.
What? Wait, so then he gets into what the fuck? Well, hold on a minute. My brain hurts.
The reason and how is because she's asleep.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, he uses gas.
What? Is this every time?
Well, no, it's the first time.
God, I was about to say, if it was every time.
Then the second time is legit. He knocks in front of on the front door.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Someone's gonna knock on the front? What? That's just so cheesy, though.
I know, that's the point of it. I just want him to just. So Amanda's in her room. She's like mourning over some. Well, can't spoil everything. So she's just in there, and then she just hears door. She's like, "I'll be right there." Then she just continues, and then she just opens the door, and there's nothing there until then. A huge glider with Mantis thing flies right into the door.
Like
right
it always happens.
And grabs onto her.
Of course. What's next? Is he just gonna like flat out just go to the front door, knock, be there, and just put a potato sack over her?
I kind of want that now. Just for you to write it. That would be perfect.
Oh man, that'd be very interesting. But we're reaching towards the 2-hour mark. I want to thank everybody in the chat. Want to thank Coom. Want to thank Dylan's Little Hobbies. Would like to thank Memes of Destruction. Jerry for the win. Matthew Singh, Sean, Sienna, Dandelion, Aiden, Captain Trek. I think it was like me. I think that was everybody, I think. Oh, Deshaun, Kavari. Want to thank everybody in the chat. I'm going to let everybody go around the panel one more time. This was a fun stream. We'll start with Sauerkraut this time. Where can they find you at?
You guys can find me on my own YouTube channel, Sauerkraut, !. when I am trying to reach up to 70 subscribers. I'm still at 64. I'm pretty sure last I checked. So I still have a long ways to go. Well, not long ways to go to 70, but like I've been at 64 for like a week or two now. So, but that's fine. I just gotta expand more on like my live streams and shit like that. So yeah, and I'm also on Discord at @SourCloud !! with 4433, and I'm also on Instagram at SourCloud06, and I can also be found on these two lovely people's channels, the Austin and Android243.
Okay.
Very, very nice. Ninjroid, where can they find you at?
Alright, you guys can find me on my YouTube channel, Ninjroid243, where this upcoming Galactic Chat is actually going to be my legit, real 200 subscriber celebration. Now, the reason why the last subscriber celebration was very bad was because at the end of the live stream, we got knocked down to 197 subs. And then it took about, like, an entire, like, 2 days or 3 to get back up there. So we'll actually have the real 200 celebration on this week's upcoming Galactic Chat. While also you can find out another Galactic Chat on Tuesday of next week. Not this upcoming week, the following week, which that will be May 4th, in which also Ryan's and I short film will be coming out that day called My Friend Prepares for May 4th or something like that. It will be very fun seeing what happens in that video. As well as you guys know, I'm already making fan cuts of the sequels. They'll be out probably December 20-ish. So, yeah. Thank you, Austin, for having me on. You can always find me on these two great people, and also Zach, Thiola, a lot of other great people's streams. This was a blast, Austin. Thank you for just letting me talk about my crazy, shitty ideas.
No problem. It was very, very fun. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, I guess I'll just do my stuff now. Tomorrow, you can find me on the Real View 3000 for the weekly wrap up. Comic chat to discuss the finale of Falcon Winter Soldier. I think I might do Shadow Eye tomorrow, but I don't know if I will yet. Monday, again, randomness at its finest. JJ Sith Lord 3827's channel. Tuesday, you can find me on 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, where we discuss Invincible. Wednesday. Oh, actually, I don't do anything on Wednesday. Crap, I gotta think. Oh, yeah, Monday, good old wrestling, which I don't know if I'll do that this week. Friday, Galactic Chat, and then maybe a live discussion. Saturday, SplashTalk. Based on everybody's channels. Yeah, that I think that does it. Yeah, I think that does it, guys. Thanks for watching. This is the Ostinator. Shit, sorry. I think that might be the new outro. But yeah, thanks for guys for watching. This is the Ostinator signing out. See you later, guys.
Life is found